All right, Warriors Rockets. I would say this series poses the smallest gap between two teams than any other playoff series in the Western Conference. Right, you have a second seed facing a seventh seed, but the Warriors are not a real seventh seed. Right? If they had won that game against the Clippers, they would have been a fifth seed, and it just so happens to be that the Western Conference is so close that it's all matchup based. It's all which team like as I said, match up better against other teams. It has nothing to do with the seeds, right? And the Rockets, they're a great defensive team. Um, but I just don't think they have the offense to keep up with the Warriors, who are not as good of a defensive team as the Rockets, but I think they're a much better offensive team, right? Jimmy Butler, we all know what he does in the playoffs. And yes, he's older, but I still think, he's going to provide huge minutes while Steph Curry is off the court, but also on the court, making the Rockets guard two players at once, especially if, Amen Thompson is going to be, face guarding Steph Curry, which my guess is what's going to happen. Then, Jimmy Butler is going to be huge for, you know, carrying the offense. Um, the Warriors are favored actually by two. It's the first time in like 30, or the second time in 30 years that a seventh seed is favored against the second seed. I mean, that just shows you how, even the Western Conference really is. You know, the Rockets, they'll be able to win if they are able to shut Steph Curry down and, Jimmy Butler is not having a great shooting night, or, maybe Dylan Brooks is going to guard Jimmy Butler. You never know. I think it's going to be low scoring. I do think. But, when you come to in a close game, clutch time, I'm taking the Warriors based on experience, right? They've been to multiple finals, won multiple finals, the same core group in the last, you know, 8 years. You also have the fact that you have two end of game playmakers and, guys that can take over in Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. And the Rockets just don't have that, offensive player. Um, but yeah, I think this game is going to go to, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a dogfight. I'm gonna say 6 or 7 games. But I'm gonna take the Warriors. I'm gonna take the Warriors to win in 6 or 7 games, but it could go either way.